You ever look at your life and think, how did I end up here? Not in a dramatic way, just confused. You had plans, dreams, a version of yourself you thought you'd be by now. But somewhere between, I'll do it tomorrow and whatever, it's fine, something shifted. You didn't crash your life. You drifted it. One tiny decision at a time. The snooze button, the half-scrolled text, the I'll start next week. None of them felt big, but together, they quietly rewired who you are. Here's the scary part. Every micro decision you make today is programming your brain for tomorrow. The way you think, focus, even how much willpower you have left. And you don't even realize it's happening. That's what this video's about. The small, invisible choices that decide your future before you do. By the end, you'll see which ones are stealing your life in slow motion and how to flip them into power moves. Because people don't fail from one big mistake. They fail from 1,000 tiny, it's not a big deal moments. First scroll. You ever notice how your day's already over before it starts? You wake up, eyes half open, grab your phone, and boom, you've already seen a war, 3 people flexing vacations, and some dude who built a 6-figure business before breakfast. Congrats! You just started your morning in someone else's life. That's the first scroll. Tiny move, massive consequence. Because in those first few seconds, your brain decides who's driving today, you or the algorithm. And guess who wins? You think you're catching up. But what you're really doing is outsourcing your mood to strangers. Your cortisol spikes before your coffee. Your self-worth takes a hit before your feet hit the floor. Then we spend the rest of the day trying to fix the energy we ruined in the first 10 seconds. Meditation app? Won't help. Journaling? Too late. You already gave your peace away for free. The sad part? We don't even scroll for pleasure anymore. We scroll for proof we're not falling behind. The first scroll isn't a habit. It's a trade. And the thing you're trading is control. Silent. Yes. There's this special kind of self-betrayal nobody warns you about. It's called the silent yes. Someone asks you for help or to just hop on a quick call, and your whole body goes, God, please no. But your mouth? Your mouth smiles and says, yeah, of course. That's the moment you lose the day. You tell yourself you're being nice. You're not. You're being avoidant. Too scared to deal with the awkwardness of saying no, so you'd rather deal with the exhaustion of saying yes. And that's how it starts. You train everyone around you that your time, your energy, your boundaries are negotiable. They don't even mean to take advantage. You just made it really easy. Then one day you look around and realize everyone's living their life and you're just managing their convenience. You're drained, resentful, but still smiling because you've been rehearsing that fake calm for years. The truth is, no is not rude. It's oxygen. And every time you withhold it, you suffocate a little more. The world doesn't need another agreeable person. It needs one more person who means it when they say yes. Comfort loop. You ever notice how rest doesn't actually make you feel rested anymore? You take a break, open your phone, scroll for 5 minutes, and somehow you wake up an hour later feeling worse. That's the comfort loop. It looks like recovery, but it's really avoidance dressed in pajamas. You tell yourself you need a little break, but what you actually need is courage. Because deep down, you're not tired. You're overwhelmed. You're not lazy. You're scared. The comfort loop is how your brain negotiates with fear. It says, we'll rest now and do the real work later. But later never comes. And every time you give in, your brain learns something dangerous. Comfort equals safety. Discomfort equals threat. Then suddenly you're addicted to softness, to warmth, to fake peace. And anything that challenges you, growth, risk, truth, feels too much. You're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because comfort quietly became your cage. And the bars? They're made of things that feel good. Ignored. Gut. You know that tiny voice that whispers, this isn't right, and you ignore it? Yeah, that's the one ruining your timeline. Every regret you've ever had, every friendship that turned toxic, every job that drained you, started the same way. Your gut spoke. You didn't. We love pretending our instincts are irrational. But here's the truth. Your gut's not emotional. It's ancient. It's been collecting data long before your brain learned how to form excuses. You felt that off energy from someone and smiled anyway. You sensed that deal was wrong but said yes to stay professional. You knew that one more chance was a bad idea, and you gave it anyway. That's not intuition failing you. That's you betraying it. And the worst part? Every time you ignore it, that voice gets quieter, until one day, it stops warning you at all. That's how people wake up one morning and say, I don't know how my life got like this. You do. You just didn't listen. Mirror story. You don't actually see yourself in the mirror. You see your story, the one you've been quietly narrating for years. I look tired. I've fallen off. I'm not where I should be. It's not a reflection, it's a recital. Same script, different day. You don't notice it happening, but every morning that internal monologue gets stronger. You brush your teeth while your brain runs commentary. Eyes too puffy, face too round, life too behind. And eventually, that becomes the truth. Not because it's real, but because repetition is how the brain writes code. You think you have self-image issues. Nah, you have self-narration issues. You've been gaslighting yourself for years. And the cruel part? If someone else said those things to you, you'd cut them out of your life in seconds. But when it's you saying it, you call it motivation? You want to change your life? Start by changing the script. Every "I hate how I look" is a micro deposit into self-doubt. Every "I look alive today," even if you don't fully believe it, starts pulling interest the other way, because mirrors don't lie. But the voice in your head? It's been freelancing for your insecurities for years. Bedtime betrayal. Let's talk about the most relatable self-sabotage on the planet. The "one more video" lie. You're exhausted. You know you should sleep, and then somehow it's 2 a.m. and you're watching a raccoon build a dam. That's bedtime betrayal. It looks harmless, but it's not. It's you telling your future self, handle it. And that's how burnout sneaks in. Not from overwork, but from the 1,000 tiny ways you disrespect tomorrow. You convince yourself it's fine because it's just a few minutes. But that few minutes isn't time. It's energy. It's focus you won't have tomorrow. It's motivation that evaporates by noon. And the sick irony? You're not even enjoying the content. You're numbing yourself from the guilt of not resting. It's like your brain's trying to comfort you while robbing you. You don't need more willpower. You need to remember what it costs. Every time you betray your bedtime, you borrow happiness from tomorrow and wake up bankrupt. Decision debt. You know why you're exhausted all the time? It's not just work. It's the 500 micro decisions you make before noon. What to wear, what to eat, who to reply to. Should I go to the gym? Should I start that project? Should I quit this job? It's like your brain's running a group chat 24/7, and every thought demands a response. That's decision debt. It's what happens when your brain spends energy on things that don't matter, so you have none left for the things that do. And the worst part? Most of your decisions aren't even yours. They're algorithms telling you what to click, trends telling you what to wear, and other people's opinions telling you what's smart. So you end up drained, not because life's hard, but because your focus has been mugged by noise. That's why billionaires wear the same outfit every day. Not because it's stylish, because it's efficient. They protect their brain like it's bandwidth, because it is. Every meaningless decision you make today steals power from the one that could change everything tomorrow. Stop managing your life like a browser with 47 tabs open. Close some. Focus on one. Your sanity depends on it. Input diet. You are what you eat. Mentally, too. And right now, most people are living off a steady diet of junk information. The input diet is the stuff you consume without noticing. Doom scrolls, hot takes, motivational tweets that do nothing but fry your dopamine. We love to say, "I'm so anxious lately," but never connect the dots between that anxiety and the 6 hours we spend marinating in everyone else's chaos. You want to fix your brain? Start with your feed, because every scroll, every video, every post is a vote for what your mind becomes. You don't need more positivity, you need less poison, but we're addicts. We crave stimulation. We say we want peace, then immediately search for something loud to fill the silence. That silence you avoid? That's the moment your brain actually detoxes. The internet isn't the enemy. Your lack of boundaries is. So here's your real diet plan. Unfollow noise. Mute outrage. Feed your brain what you'd want your life to reflect. Because your attention isn't free, it's currency. And right now, you're paying to stay distracted. Muted voice. You ever type something, feel it in your bones, then backspace the whole thing? That's muted voice. It's that moment when you almost speak up, almost post, almost share, and then talk yourself out of it because what if it sounds dumb? What if no one likes it? What if people think you're trying too hard? So you delete it. And in that small, quiet decision, you train yourself to disappear. You start thinking your thoughts only matter when someone else validates them. You become a ghost in your own life, watching, liking, scrolling, never adding. That's how potential dies. Not in failure, in hesitation. You weren't born mute. You were taught to filter yourself until you sounded safe, until you sounded like everyone else. And here's the twist. The people you admire for being fearless, they feel the same fear. They just hit post anyway. Because silence doesn't protect you, it just hides you. Every time you hold back your truth to stay likable, you trade authenticity for invisibility. And if you keep doing that long enough, the world doesn't even have to silence you. You'll do it for them. Tiny risks. Everyone wants a big life, but nobody wants to look stupid getting there. That's why we wait. For the right time, the perfect idea, the guaranteed outcome. And while we wait, life quietly passes by. Here's the reality. Massive change doesn't come from massive moves. It comes from tiny risks. Those small, scary steps that look pointless now but change everything later. Sending that email, asking that question, showing up underprepared, posting the thing you're afraid people will judge. Each one feels like nothing, but together, They rewire your brain for action. They teach your system that uncertainty isn't death, it's progress. The people who seem lucky aren't luckier. They're just faster at saying, screw it. They collect tiny embarrassments instead of big regrets. You think confidence comes before courage. It doesn't. Confidence is the side effect of courage practiced daily. So take the small risks, the awkward ones, the ones that don't promise applause, because in the long run, you won't remember the moments you played it safe. You'll remember the ones where you dared to move.